everyone. Hopefully you're all in the right place. Reading and Writing Solutions, Tips and Tricks. A little bit about TASK and who we are and what we do. Team of Advocates for Special Kids is a parent training and information center, and we serve all ages and all abilities. The brown at the bottom of the map represents the 11 counties that we serve in California, and then in the blue box lists all of our actual offices that we have. I went ahead and listed the types of services that TASK offers. One-on-one telephone advocacy, parent training and information through workshops and the telephone advocacy. We provide legal rights information. We call it peer counseling because all of our advocates are parents of children with disabilities, or they have disabilities themselves. We also provide IEP consultations to help parents feel comfortable, get ready to go to their IEP. Information referrals. We do have a book and video lending library and our technology center. That's a picture of our tech center. Here are some of the services we offer. Our main service that we offer are hands-on technology labs where parents can bring their kiddos in and try out different types of technology. We also see adults with various needs and a lot of professionals as well. We do provide assistive technology evaluations, assistive technology clinics, guided labs and teacher trainings. We have a software, toy, and switch lending library for our members. Membership is $35 per year per family. And then I listed some of our other programs that we offer. If you're interested in any of our programs, give me a call, or you can visit our website for more, www.taskca.org. Okay, so we'll get right in. What is assistive technology? I went ahead and listed the federal definition. Basically, of the assistive technology device. It's any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially, off the shelf, modified, or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve functional capabilities of individuals with disabilities. So basically, it can be anything that helps someone with a disability get something done. Before we begin, I wanted to go ahead and just kind of set the stage. What I try to do is have you think about your consumer or your student, the person that you're going to help with technology. What would you like them to be able to do with the use of assistive technology? What's their learning style? Do you know what their learning style is, or do they know? Also think about their learning or work environment. Are there visual or auditory distractions going on? And what can be done to adjust that environment? So set the stage for success. Sometimes it's as simple as adjusting the lighting, which I'll talk about in a minute. Is there visual clutter on the computer screen or whatever they're working on? Is there a lot of background noise? Is their computer screen too bright and makes their eyes tire easily? If so, you can use tints or filters on the computer screen, or also you can adjust the brightness. In a minute, I'm going to show you a couple of filters that I found that are free. I use them myself. Also, tinted overlays or tracking helpers, and then of course we need to add writing supports if needed. So I put up some sample distortions for what happens for people who have scotopic sensitivity or Irlen syndrome. And it can vary person to person. But what happens is if you're looking at a bright white piece of paper or a bright screen, Sometimes the letters move around and it's hard for them to see, hard, to read. So sometimes we use colored overlays, or sometimes people get the actual lenses, the glasses, and for some people it greatly improves the clarity and stability of the print, reduces strain and fatigue. For me, it eliminated my headaches. I had really bad migraines. And then it can also help to improve comprehension and such. If you have a question and you want to see if color works for you, the website at the bottom, dyslexiatest.com, takes you through a little color test to see if it's helpful for that person or not, or try it on yourself. I found these 2 free screen color filters. I use the one on the right, the Screen Tinter Light, and what it does is you pick the color you want, and it turns your entire screen that color as if there were a clear colored filter on top of it. Works quite well for me. The other one on the left, the Musacha, actually changes the background of whatever you're looking at. I also went ahead and put some free learning style surveys up. The one at the top, the MetaMath, I've been using for years and I really like it, but I did find 2 others that seem to be helpful just to see what somebody's learning style is, to see whether they're a visual learner or auditory or hands-on. Is really helpful in yes, Alice, you'll be getting a handout. So anyway, it can be really helpful in what can help somebody. What we did here a long time ago is we had our staff all take the top one to see what their learning styles were, so that we knew in staff meetings how to best present. For those of you that joined a little bit late, I did send Rosemary a resource sheet with all the websites that I'm going to be talking about, whether they're vendors or things like I just showed you. So you'll be getting those later today. Thanks, Katie. Okay, so you guys are funny. So I'm going to start with low-tech writing supports. Some of the things we use a lot are fidget pencils, and they're the second one down all the way to the right, and they're just little toppers that go on the top of pencils that the kiddos or adults, I use them sometimes, can fiddle with to help them pay attention. Also at the top right is the Handy Writer. It's a nice little tool. I think they're $3 that helps you with the proper writing grip. Lots of different types of specialized paper. We have probably 50 different types here that we use, depending on the kiddos. I put 2 of them in there. The one at the top is the carbonless notebook paper. Really good for kiddos who struggle to take notes, looking up at the board, trying to write, trying to listen and concentrate. You can get a peer note taker to take notes for them and just tear off the bottom copy so that they've got their notes, so they're able to listen and pay attention in class and not worry about whether they're spelling things right and what they're missing. Also, specialized pencils and pens. The one on the right on the bottom is an ergonomic pen called the Twist and Write I really like. And then on the left is the Writing Bird. Okay, low-tech visual reading supports. I just listed the ones we use the most often. The magnifying bar, which is the one right to the right over the thing that says Lottie Kit. It magnifies, and it's got a yellow stripe that goes through the middle that helps stay on the line you're reading so you don't jump from line to line. And also the magnification is helpful as well. Down at the bottom, left is the reading helper. It comes in different colors. I have a pink one down there, but there's all different colors. What it does is it blocks out the other text on the page and just highlights whatever line you're actually reading, which helps you stay on track. Heads-up frames, the small pink square, I like to use them to separate math problems on a page when there's too many math problems on a page. It's kind of nice to isolate one at a time. You can also use them for reading as well. We also use highlighter tape and erasable highlighters for that. For someone who needs highlighting for note-taking, those are both solutions that you can put on and take off without causing damage to your book. Okay, just some other simple visual supports. Sometimes it's as simple as changing the background color on the computer to a softer color, maybe a blue or a gray, something that's easier to read. Colored paper instead of white paper. Some of my students use green or blue paper instead of the white worksheets. Sometimes a larger or a different font. White text on a black background for someone with low vision really stands out well. They make magnifier sheets in full page size and half page sizes. And then there's these little, at the bottom right, there's these little signature or pocket reading guides that help isolate a few words at a time to help you stay on track. Okay, does anyone have questions about that section, or I'm going to keep on going? Nope, okay. I listed some of the handheld or portable devices that are used. The Franklin products have been around for years. Oh, thanks, Rosemary. Have been around for years, but they have dictionaries, thesauruses, spell checkers, and even things that translate from one language to another. There are reading pens, the Quick Link, the Iris, the WizCom. I'm going to talk about another one in just a minute. Digital recorders are really nice for someone who needs help either taking notes or even telling a story. They can turn on their tape recorder and go ahead and just verbally, if they're verbal, tell you a story, play it back so they could remember what they were talking about. Nice, helpful tool. There are also portable magnifiers, and then of course an iPod or an MP3 player can be great. Kevin's asking, the reading highlighter pen is cool but has a low voice. Anything louder? Not that I know of. I'm going to show you one thing and then you tell me if this would work or not. Have you tried the Scribe Smart Pens? We just got these, and well, we just got one and I absolutely love it. Basically what they do is you have to have specialized paper you buy from them. It's note paper, and you can capture words, diagrams, scribbles, symbols, anything you want, and it records everything you're hearing as you're writing. It's amazing. We just got it about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. I haven't got to play with it too much, but what I've done has been, the things that I've tried have worked amazingly well. In fact, I think I'm going to take it to my next conference for note-taking. And we paid $99 for ours, and we got some of the extra, they offer little extra things. But really an amazing, amazing product. What's the storage? I don't know. Do you know this? 4 gigabytes. Wasn't there a choice between 4 and 8? Oh, 2, 4, and 8, and we went middle of the road. So 4 gigabytes. Okay. So some more auditory supports for reading. I'm going to talk about ebooks and audiobooks, screen readers or text-to-speech. Oh, I'm sorry. Can it work on any type of paper? No. Back to the, sorry. The Live Scribe Smart Pens, you have to have their paper to make it work. And we got a pack of 4 for, I think it was 25? $17.99. So it came with a pack of 4. So, yeah. You might be able to print your own from their website, but I know it has to have that little symbol thing because you push on it to make it record. Oh, you're welcome. So auditory supports for reading, I'm just going to go ahead and get into them. Ebooks and audiobooks, which I'm sure you all know about. But what they do is provide alternatives to traditional printed text. A lot of our clients that can't read an actual physical book for whatever reason, whether it's a visual learning disability, a visual disability, or a physical issue, a lot of these electronic books are, or electronic resources are helpful. The 4 major ones that we use are here. Learning Ally, which used to be Recording for Blind and Dyslexic. Bookshare.org. Those both have memberships, although if you have a child in special education, or if they're, if you're working with a child in special education and they have a diagnosis of a print disability, they can get a Bookshare.org membership for free. If you go to their website, it will explain. Project Gutenberg and Lit2Go are both free book sources. I like Lit2Go a lot because it has different formats that you can download. You can download a book as a PDF, as an MP3, or as a text file, which is helpful depending on what your students' needs are. So text-to-speech programs, there's 2 different types. One is a screen reader, which is software that reads the contents of the computer, converting the text to speech. Or there's the optical recognition, OCR, or scan and read programs. Basically that converts a scanned document to a text file so that it can be changed or manipulated, and then you can turn around and it reads out loud like a screen reader does. I listed some of the more well-used or more popular screen reader or text-to-speech products. Browse Aloud is a free web reader. Read Out Loud by Don Johnston is the one that we probably use the most. There's a light version of Read Out Loud that comes when you get a subscription to Bookshare. I listed Read Please and Thunder because they're both free screen readers. And free is much better than nothing at all. And then the 2 for blind and low vision that are used the most often are JAWS and Window Eyes. Something new that just came to our attention is Firefly by Kurzweil. It's a web-based text reader, but it has supports in it just like Kurzweil or WYNN or one of those programs does. But it's all web-based. There's no installation needed, and it can read text word by word, line by line, or sentence by sentence. You can look up definitions of the words right there. You just click on the icon. You can customize your reading speed, and what I thought was cool is you can translate text to another language just with a click of a button. So that's a new one called Firefly. So portable reading devices, there are so many now. The Intel Reader, which I'm going to talk about. Freedom Scientific has a new one called the Pearl. And then, of course, there are book readers like the Kindle and the Nook. We're going to talk a little bit about the readers that are on the iPad, like the iBooks and VBooks. Then there's the Classmate reader, and then there's digital book players such as the Victor reader. So there's a lot of different portable reading devices. And then probably the least expensive, well not least expensive, but most readily available would be your iPod or your MP3 player, because a lot of the books can be downloaded in MP3 format and played right on your iPod Shuffle or whatever it is that you have. One that we have had the privilege to play with lately, we have it on a 6-month loan, is the Intel Reader. And it works amazingly well. It's a handheld device. You basically hold it above whatever text you're looking at, click a button, it goes ahead and it does the optical character recognition, and it reads back to you out loud and highlights as it reads. Pretty amazing. Okay, so some of the scan and read or OCR programs, the ones that we hear of or use the most are Kurzweil 3000, which is for learning disabilities, and the 1000 is for blind and low vision. WYNN and Open Book by Freedom Scientific. There's Read and Write Gold by TextHelp, and then there's Scan and Read by Premier Literacy, which I'm going to talk about their products in just a couple minutes. This is a screenshot of WYNN by Freedom Scientific. And in all of these optical character recognition products, the thing that I like the most is that the left shows a scanned-in page of Mutiny on the Bounty. But sometimes it's hard to read in whatever font the book was in. You can click what they call text view, and then it looks like what's on the right, where you can adjust the fonts in the background and the spacing between each sentence and between each word. Really customizable. And both WYNN and Kurzweil have demos that you can download from online, or you can ask for a demo, an evaluation disc to be sent to you. There are a lot of portable literacy tools now, where they've put the software onto flash drives, USB drives, so that they don't have to load them on each computer, which really helps when you're in like a school setting. You could take your flash drive from class to class or place to place, depending on where you're going, and you don't need to install the software on each system. Some of the products that we have and that I've tried are Premier Literacy has Premier to Go, which is 11 different tools on a USB flash drive. And then they have their Key to Access, which is the same 11 literacy tools, but they also put an MP3 player and a digital tape recorder in this little Key to Access. It looks like this at the very top here in the green. That's what it looks like. We have one, and it's been really helpful for a lot of students. TextHelp has Read and Write Gold Mobile now, and then ClaroRead has their own mobile technology as well. I just went ahead and listed other types of reading software. There's a bunch of stuff out there for reading comprehension. I like the Start to Finish books by Don Johnston a lot. They use actual real actors' voices, and there's comprehension quizzes at the end. A lot more engaging than a computerized voice for a lot of folks. Another one I really like is Read to Learn by the Attainment Company, and they're for older students. And they have things like life skills, safety skills, social skills, things like that. For phonics, I still love Don Johnston's Simon SIO and WordMaker. And then I went ahead and listed, just for early learning, Living Books, which have been around forever, still love them. Edmark's House series, Bailey's Book House, Millie's Math House, and such. And then Marblesoft's Early Learning Suite. So I wanted to show you some apps for reading support. I started with the free book readers because they're free, and a lot of us are nonprofit. The iBooks comes on your iDevice, on your iPhone, your iPad, or your iPod Touch. It basically looks like a book reader, like a Kindle or a Nook, something like that. Basically, it's a digital book that's on the screen. It does have some functions that you can change. The font, the size of the font, and the coloring a little bit. You can put a sepia tone on it. It doesn't read out loud. And then Kindle has their version. What I do like about that is if you have a Kindle, you can sync your Kindle to your iPad, and whatever page you left off on your Kindle, you can pick up your iPad and it will be right on that page, which is kind of cool. Another app I found is called Free Books, and it has, I don't know why it's that number, but 23,469 classic books. And then they have an e-reader. None of these read out loud, which is the issue I was running across with most of the people I dealt with. Yeah, thanks, Dane. I have tried VoiceOver. It just, depending on the student, hasn't been a great match, but I did use VoiceOver with the iBooks. So I found Read2Go by Benetech, and it's $19.99 for the app, which seems kind of high for an app. I always joke that I'll spend $700 on software without blinking, but $20 for an app seems ridiculous. I found it worth it. It's an accessible Daisy Book e-reader, and what I like about it is you can control just about everything visually and auditorily. It has full control of font size, color, background, highlighting, speech preferences. You can slow it down, speed it up. Really customizable, and I found it to be really helpful. And then if you have a book, you have to have a Bookshare membership, and if you do, then you can download all of theirs. Okay, Alice says that the live Scribe paper can be downloaded from the web if you have an Adobe PostScript printer. You can get the pens online on the website, and some retailers sell them. Yes. The information should be on your resource sheet. It's livescribe.com. Thanks, Alice. Some of the interactive book apps, we have a lot of interactive books. Our kiddos really like them that come to our center. I listed some of the ones that I like the best. I really like the Disney digital books. We have several, Cars and Princess and the Frog and Toy Story. Ayers Animation makes my favorite one. It's called Cosmo's Day Off, and it's free. It's got great animation. It reads the text out loud. You can slow it down, speed it up, make it larger or smaller, or you can record your own voice, which is nice. And then Ocean House Media makes the little critter books, and Dr. Seuss and some of the more popular books that we're all used to, but they've made them more interactive and fun. Okay. Any questions or comments about that part before we go on to vision enhancement? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Rosemary. Vision accommodations might include, I went ahead and just listed them, screen magnification, screen reading software, OCR, which we talked about, CCTVs or portable magnifiers, talking dictionaries, large print keyboards. There's a lot. For screen magnification, probably the most popular ones are Magic by Freedom Scientific and Zoom Text by AI Squared. I found one called WYNN that I really like. And then of course I found two. I'm all about free if I can find it. I found a couple free downloads. One is called the Iconico Magnifier, and one is called the Virtual Magnifying Glass. And then also, don't forget that there's free screen magnification built into your Windows and your Mac operating systems. So there's all kinds of magnifiers, desktop magnifiers or CCTVs, portable or handheld magnifiers. There's some apps, some free magnifying apps that I use. One is called I Can See, and one is called the Mirror 3-in-1, and they're both free. And we have them on both our iPad and our iPod Touch. I've been waiting for this. I was waiting for this app to come out and really excited about it. And from what I hear, it's amazing, but it's not available for the iPad or iPod Touch yet. It's called Zoom Reader. And right now it only works on the iPhone. I saw it, gosh, last year at CSUN and thought it worked amazing, and was hoping that it would work with the iPod Touch or the iPad, but so far, no. But what it does is you snap a picture of what you're trying to read. Zoom Reader will convert it into text using OCR and then read it back out loud to you. And again, you can control the voice, and you can control it by voice. Just say take a picture, and seconds later it'll appear on screen. I did try it at the conference and it works really well. Keep hoping and waiting that it'll come out and we can use it here. For computer-aided writing, there's a lot out there, so I just listed some of the ones that we use the most. Abbreviated Expansion, graphic organizers, talking word processors, word prediction, and voice recognition. Abbreviated Expansion is basically software that allows the use of abbreviations for frequently used words and phrases and for instant speech. What you do is you type in a code, an abbreviation, and save it. The examples there is EG is for example. Sometimes people that flip-flop words around, you can set it that every time you type HTE, they know it's THE, things like that. The different products or the different vendors that sell abbreviated expansion software, there's PenFriend, there's Soothsayer, and there's Instant Text, depending on what you're looking for. Graphic organizers and outlining programs basically use mind maps or concept maps, and it's a pictorial or graphical way to organize information and thoughts for understanding, remembering, or writing about. The picture here is of Kidspiration, and it's their book report template. Very simple. Put in the character's name, an adjective about that character, and an example. It's to spark writing ideas. I listed the products that probably are most often used. Inspiration, Kidspiration. My personal favorite is Draft Builder by Don Johnston. There's also Smart Ideas. And then I did find 3 apps that work pretty well. Simple Mind Plus, Idea Sketch, and Total Recall are all apps that work on the I just lost what it's called, a graphic organizer, sorry, mind mapping. Talking word processors, basically you type it in and it says it out loud. I like the auditory feedback of a talking word processor so that you can hear the mistakes that you made. That wasn't what you were supposed to say. I also like that you can adjust the font size and the foreground and background colors and such. And I listed the probably most commonly used ones. Write Out Loud, the Talking Word Processor, Read and Write Gold, and then there's Ginger Software. This is Write Out Loud Solo Edition. It has a built-in Franklin Dictionary, a bibliographer, which is amazing. It has a wizard that you can use on there for your bibliography, a spell checker, and a homonym checker. And they all read out loud to you. And if you're not sure on your homonyms, it will give examples in sentences for you so you can choose the right thing. Yeah, really cool. Okay, Ginger Software, you can try it for free. There's a 30-day download that you can try. This one works really well for people who make unusual spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. And you can't see, I apologize, you can't see the example very well, but it says, the judge, D-J-A-D-J-E, ruled against him, and against is spelled wrong. And what it does is it pops up and asks you, is this what you meant? Is this what you meant? And then you click on it. Works very well for English language learners. And again, with the grammatical errors, it's a big help. Word prediction programs or word completion programs. They predict words on the basis of the first few letters you typed. I usually tell people sort of like when you're texting how the words pop up. But these particular ones, Co-Writer, Read and Write Gold, WordQ, and Premier Predictor Pro, predict words. When you're using a cell phone or you're texting, it just kind of predicts random words. These all predict words that it's not going to predict a word that couldn't follow the word that you just typed, if that makes sense. They predict words that make sense or in the context that you're typing. For Co-Writer, you can load these things called topic dictionaries. So if you are working on a dinosaur report, you could load in the dinosaur dictionary, and then as you're typing, you would it would predict words like you know, Pachycephalosaurus and words like that that nobody knows how to spell. There's also an e-word bank or a word wall that pops up that has your nouns, adjectives, and verbs within that topic dictionary. Really, really helpful. They also have, that's the word I was looking for, linguistic word prediction, meaning if I typed in a word, it's not going to predict a word that couldn't follow that, if that makes sense. And then they have, it's called flexible spelling, meaning if you typed in a word that you knew sounded like, but you didn't know it started with a PH, if you typed in the letter F, it would still predict a PH word. I hope that made sense. These are the two word prediction apps that I use the most that I've found. One is called ZenTap Pro, and it was $2.99. And same idea, you start typing. It also has languages that you can set. English or Spanish, which is very nice. And then Type-O, which has been around a long time, is $14.99. It does have more features and more things that you can change, and very good word prediction. I actually have them both, and I use them both for different clients and different reasons. Voice recognition, we still don't use a whole lot here with our kids. I mean, we have Dragon Naturally Speaking and we use it, but not as often as I would like for different reasons. But basically what voice recognition is you can talk into a microphone and the words will appear on the computer screen that you've spoken. The most readily used ones are Dragon Naturally Speaking and Via Voice. We use SpeakQ here, which is basically meant to go with their counterpart, which is WordQ, their word prediction program. If you're using word prediction and you're stuck and you just have no idea how the word starts or how to sound it out, you can actually go ahead and say the word or the sentence and it will pop up and try to help you. It'll give you kind of guesses. So it's a nice tool depending on who's using it and what they need. One of my favorite apps now is Dragon Dictation because it's free and it works amazingly well. The only drawback is that you have to have Wi-Fi in order to use it because it goes out into the cloud, into the universe, and processes and sends it back. We've had a lot of luck with this, or success I should say, with this app. I've only had one student that it didn't work on so far. So, and it's free, so that's a bonus. Okay, apps for writing support. I just wanted to list a couple that I really like. There's a Dragon Search, which has voice-activated web browsing, which is pretty cool. Again, you do have to have the Wi-Fi or the internet available. Merriam-Webster Dictionary. You can either type in the word or you can say what you're looking for, and it will print out. And then if you click the little box, it'll read it, the definition out loud to you. Wikipanion. It's like Wikipedia. It's the iDevice access to Wikipedia, kind of a neat tool. And then Google Translate. Liz, our AT specialist here, has to translate everything to Spanish, all of our trainings, and she's been using Google Translate. It's been really helpful and really accurate, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Well, I did that fast. Any questions?
Okay, this is Rosemary. It looks like there are a few participants that are typing in their questions or comments in the chat box, and we'll wait in a couple minutes. He said maybe some iPad apps. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking nothing is coming off the top of my head, but if you want to email me, Steve, I can do some research and get back to you if you like. Can this client use an iPad? Can he use a touch screen, or she? Good idea, Alice. There are a bunch. The reason I asked if your client, Steve, could use a touch or an iPad is because there are a lot of different Ogcom apps that she could either use on an iPhone or even an iPad to hold up next to the phone. There's a lot of great ones that are either free or inexpensive.